What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon, MLB DFS video. It is Friday, it is July 26th. We are back with another video, full slate of MLB. So after yesterday's slate, we saw a no-hitter going on with Dylan Cease. We saw 6 of the 8 games going on at 11:05 Central. Was it 11:05 Central? 11:05 Central. What a weird start time for a Thursday. We are back with a Friday slate. 3 games early, which are 25 minutes earlier than normal. Then we've got the rest of the games to go over. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the channel. It's a little bit different than what you're used to. Longer video than you're used to. But I implore you to listen along. Tell us what you think. If you learned something, leave a like on the video. That is all we ask. Checking out the other content we have in the description of the video is the link to today's article, is the link to our sponsor, which we will talk about, Outlier.Bet, is the link to our Discord where we go through everything. We've got questions. We try to answer them for you. A lot of people in there are asking questions. We've got talk about different stacks, talk about the core plays, look at the ballpark factors, the projected home runs. We look at it all. So you can check that out, a full slate of MLB today. Also, for the weekend, I just found out NASCAR is off for 2 weeks. Had no idea. So we will have MMA on Saturday, though. So you can sign up for FTA Plus, $10 a week. We'll get you a week of all of the sports we offer when they are there. MLB, NASCAR, PGA, MMA. Obviously, NASCAR will be back in a couple of weeks. NFL is a month and a half away. We're very excited about that. So definitely go check that out. And if you are new to the channel, we have giveaways every single day. 2 giveaways, as long as I'm not too tired to remember the second one. But they're simple, easy, and free to do. And you can win multiple times a day and multiple days in a row. We've had that before. The first way to win, like the video, be a subscriber, leave a comment. The video gets at least 50 likes. You have a chance at a free week of FTA Plus. 100 likes is a free month. 150 likes is a $200 free year to FTA Plus. And 200 or more likes on any video of ours, you have a chance to win a free $500 lifetime pass. The other way to win a lifetime pass, once we hit 10,000 YouTube subscribers. So we are going up, up, up. If we can hit it before the first game of NFL, the 2024 season, we will give away 2 lifetime passes. So it's September, the first week of September. So if we can get that there, we will be rocking and rolling. The second way to win, somewhere in this video, hopefully I remember, there will be a keyword. I will say that keyword out there. Listen for it. Type it in there, and you have a chance to win 2 times every single day. And that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to see who the 2 winners of the giveaways are. Now, the first one, even if the keyword is in this comment, it's only going to go to 1 winner for typing this out. Then we're going to re-roll it the second time if they have the keyword in there. So you have multiple times. So definitely get in here, leave comments, leave multiple comments, try to win. So let's see who the 2 winners are real quick, and we'll move on to break it down. Jackie Treehorn 8732, thanks for dropping this video. It really helps. Thank you for checking out. The name sounds brand new. I don't know if you've been here before, but congratulations. If you have never been here before, welcome to the family. But what I want to say is, once you see this, email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com. That's dfshelp, the number 1, @gmail.com. And let me know a username and email you would like on the website, and we will get you set up for that free week of FTA Plus, because we got over 50 likes on yesterday's video. If you already have an account on the site, let me know your account there as well. So congratulations, Jackie. This is the first time I've seen that name, so first time that I'm aware that you have won. So again, congratulations. Now, we are going to re-roll until we get the keyword, which yesterday's keyword was energy, because as you know, I have a newborn, and energy is missing. So right there, that has never happened before. I've talked about it possibly happening, but if Jackie would have had that keyword, would have won twice in the same day. Never had that happen before. Not one time. So let's re-roll it, and we will see who the winner is. Debonair, congratulations. Yet again, you won yesterday. I will exert massive energy in order to obtain access to FTA tools. And the tools that are there are right here. Under the MLB tab, player projections, simulation model, Vegas numbers, batter splits, BVP, so on and so forth, all the way down this list. NASCAR is here. We've got that there. We've got NBA once it comes back. We're going to add more stuff to NBA. NFL, probably going to add more tools to NFL come this fall. We're very excited to use Outlier.Bet once that comes, but let us know right here if you're interested. Let me know what you would like to see on the site and the videos. PGA, we've got simulations, the Bacon Station, and the cheat sheet. And MMA, we've got cheat sheet, results, simulations, and prop bets as well. So congratulations, both of you. Let's go. Let's move on. Let's get into today. So in this video here, we're going to go over everything. Like I've said, we're going to cover every pitcher and batter that we can. We're going to see who's had success against them in the past, what not. But if you need a little bit abbreviated version, maybe you don't have enough time today. It would be awesome if you did have enough time, because the longer you watch the video, the more metrics goes up, the more you help out the channel. Please. But we have an article down below which will give a handful of plays at each position that we like for today. So we pull those straight off the cheat sheet as well. So you can always use that, and that is a great starting point if you want. If you need a little bit more help, again, FTA Plus, $10 for a week. But what we've got 3 early games like we've talked about. We've got the Twins at the Tigers, you've got the Guardians at the Phillies, and you finally have the Reds at Tampa Bay Rays. Now, towards the end of the video, we're going to go over Pitches Be Crazy, and you'll see that in the chapters here, but Pitches Be Crazy is the top 5 pitchers according to their matchup to the team that strikes out the most. So the 5 teams that strike out the most, these are the best matchups for them. Now, I will tell you, Cincinnati has snuck in and replaced Pittsburgh right now. Just they're very neck and neck, so it's very close. You can check that out. So we will talk about that going forward. But let's take a look using Outlier.Bet. And this is Outlier.Bet. This is the sponsor of the video. They have 2 packages. Now, the link is in the description down below. If you sign up using that link and you get a 7-day free trial and you sign up for their $30 package, we're going to give you, and using our link, and you can show us that you used it, we're going to give you a free month of FTA Plus. If you sign up using the link and they have a $130 package for the month, show us that, and we will give you 3 months of FTA Plus on top of that, absolutely free. So check them out, Outlier.Bet. There's so many ways to go. You can go insights, popular, bets for the day. You've got EV Plus for pro. You've got the props that you can check out. The main tool that I love using is the matchup details and looking at the games through here. Now, what it does is it basically takes 5 to 10 different websites, correlates everything into an easy to look at format. We're able to look at them. The UI is very intuitive. Love the matchups. The colors pop for us. It helps us decide where we want to go. So we're going to use them to break down the game for you. So we look at this. You got Keider Montero. He's already faced Minnesota once this year, gave up 2.84 runs per 9. He won that game there. Now, generally, Minnesota hits lefties better, but we can definitely look. So Montero, for tournaments, I do not mind Montero here against Minnesota. I think it'll, especially on an early slate with 6 pitchers, I think we could find a little bit of value here. You look at the Minnesota bats against right-handed pitching, they don't hit very well. All under 270. You do have some home runs here. You know, the majority of the home runs are here, which you can run into home runs here. But Carlos Correa being hurt, big shocker. You got Byron Buxton 8 home runs, but 269. And this is where I'll tell you, we're a little bit different than other DFS providers because I will let you know if I'm wrong. But these are just my insights to break down these games. Now, I'm not saying follow this 100%. I'm just trying to break down every single game for you. 10 years of experience, where we're looking at, what numbers we're looking at, what goes into my mind when I'm, breaking down these games. So you could look like Minnesota, they are the favorite, minus 165. Detroit's 150. And these show the best odds, which websites have the best odds. So ESPN Bet has Minnesota at minus 165. Detroit has plus 150. Then you've got the run line. Minnesota minus 1.5 is plus 105 on ESPN Bet. Detroit 1.5 minus 118 on Fanduel. And you can see where it breaks it down. You can look at the run line. You can look at alternate total win margin. They've got it all there. You can look at different player props. You can look at different team props. So basically, you would have to be going to all of these websites, FanDuel, DraftKings, ESPN Bet, Caesars, BetMGM, Bet365 for sports betting to look at the different lines, but they've done the work for you right here. So my thought, if you wanted to go Minnesota against Kiter Montero, Willie Castro is only batting 235, but I would look at him. Matt Wallner could be a cheap option for you. Trevor Larnach's got 10 bombs there. Byron Buxton has 8 bombs. Carlos Santana, 8 bombs as well. Personally, I don't know if I'll have much exposure to this game. I kind of like Montero for just a little bit of value. Then you've got Lopez. Got destroyed by Detroit this year. 11.25 runs per game there. Did have a ton of strikeouts there, but don't like the numbers there. We look at Detroit. We look at just the Minnesota bats that have had success against him. Mark Canha's name has been thrown out there for trades, but he is 5 for 10 with a home run with 3 RBIs. That is the only one with a home run. But then if you break it down a little bit further, Detroit bats against right-handed pitching this year. You do have Gio Urshela batting 280 with 4 bombs. You got Riley Green batting 287 with 13 bombs. Love those numbers there. Winsil Perez, 258 batting average, 6 home runs there. You got Justin Henry Malloy, only batting 189, but does have 6 home runs. So it's kind of one that scares me. Matt Vierling batting 250, but has 11 bombs against righties. These are bats that I am very interested in today. You got Colt Key with 10 bombs, batting 251 as well. So technically, batting 251, but the league average is like 244. So he's above league average there, has the home runs if you don't trust Lopez in this situation. So personally, I'm probably fading Lopez. I'm going Montero and the Detroit bats just a little bit more than I would other positions there. Next game, Guardians at the Phillies. Should be a good offensive matchup here. You've got Ben Lively, 11 plate appearance, really hasn't seen much. And then Christopher Sanchez really hasn't seen much either here. So Sanchez has not faced Cleveland this year. 2.97 ERA, 7.35 strikeouts per 9 is what we're looking at. So, we could look at the prop bets. You could see if there's a prop for 6+ strikeouts, 5+ strikeouts would be where I'd feel comfortable with Sanchez there. Because Cleveland, they are still a good team. They're a really good team, actually. They've never faced him before. That's where we'd go with Sanchez. Ben Lively, on the other hand, 3.57 runs per 9, 93 innings, 7.71 strikeouts there. Has not faced Philly this year. And again, they really haven't faced much at all there. So that is where, tournament-wise, I think Sanchez is more of tournament and cash. I think Ben Lively's more of a cash-only option because, again, Philly's a really good hitting team. The over-under's 8.5 right now. Philly's a pretty decent over-under or money line at 165. But they do think, it sounds like Cleveland plus 1.5. It could be like a 1-run game here, 2-run game, kind of what they're thinking. So if we are looking at bats, so let's take a look. If we don't like Christopher Sanchez and we do like Cleveland bats, I'm looking at David Fry batting 293 with 5 bombs against left-handed pitching. I'm looking at Angel Martinez or Angel Martinez. I'm not really sure how you pronounce his name, but 308 batting average. No home runs, but he has had success there. The big one, obviously, you guys know, if you're looking at Cleveland bats, you're looking at Jose Ramirez, J-Ram, a 368 batting average against left-handed pitching, 9 bombs, 28 home runs. Steven Kwan, 391 batting average, 3 bombs against left-handed pitching. These are the guys you're looking at. Then you can always feel good about if you're trying to do a full Cleveland stack today. You got Schneemann, you could look at him. 300 batting average, again, only 20 at-bats, so it's still there. You could look at him if you're trying to get those 5 guys in there. Josh Naylor, 217 batting average, 5 bombs. It seems like every time I write him off in a stack, he's the one who hits the first home run. So I would look at him. For whatever reason, it seems like anytime that Josh Naylor is not in the lineup, Bo Naylor hits a home run. Only has 1 home run against lefties, so definitely look at that, but I don't know what it is. It just seems like if Naylor is out, look at his brother. He usually has a good game there. That's kind of a situation I would look at there. Then Philly bats against Ben Lively, because again, Philly is a fantastic hitting team. Bohm batting 312 with 7 bombs against right-handed pitching. I love Alec Bohm here. Trey Turner batting 349 with 8 home runs. I love him there. Obviously, Bryce Harper makes a lot of sense. But then we've got like a Brandon Marsh with 9 bombs batting .279. Don't mind him at all. You got Johan Rojas if you want to go cheaper, .249 batting average, still above league average. 3 home runs there as well. And then if you need to find another one, depending on where you're at, maybe Nick Castellanos, .235 batting average with 7 bombs, or JT Realmuto, only .238 batting average, but 4 home runs as well. So again, I think both pitchers are probably only tournament options. I do like both offenses on either side, though. Then we get to the last of the early game. You've got the Reds at the Tampa Bay Rays. You've got Shane Baz versus Nick Lodolo. Now, Baz 0-1 record, hasn't pitched much, 13.2 innings. Don't know if he's going to be on any sort of pitch count. Don't know if he's going to be on anything like that. But I don't love the pitching on both sides. And then you've got Nick Lodolo, 9.46 strikeouts per game. He's actually been very decent. And Tampa Bay overall has not been a very good hitting team. When they're not putting up 5+ runs, they are losing all of their games. I don't mind Nick Lodolo here for cash. I don't mind him for strikeouts either. If you're doing pitches be crazy, I don't mind him at all. I'd rather take Nick Lodolo. But like I said earlier at the beginning of the video, the Reds have overtaken Pittsburgh for the 5th worst team to strike out this season so far. So things to consider. I don't think Shane Baz is a DFS option that I feel comfortable with. But again, 6 pitchers on an early slate, 3 games. Got to get a little creative. Pretty much any of these pitchers are in play, but I want to break down the bats here. So the bats against Shane Baz. So Tyler Stevenson, 2 for 2 with a home run. You've got Jonathan India, 1 for 2 with a home run as well. Now, India's name has been up there in the trade rumors, so that is definitely something to be on the lookout for because we are less than a week away from the trade deadline. That could happen. Don't set your lineup and forget it because they could be traded at any time, and we could lose a big fat 0 goose egg there if he gets traded. But the batters that have success against right-handed pitching this year for the Reds, Tyler Stevenson batting .244, 7 home runs. Got Jeimer Candelario, 15 home runs. Ellie De La Cruz, 13 home runs. What I love about Ellie, home runs are there. He's got 50+ stolen bases as well. Those are fantasy point gold as well. Then you want to go a couple more. Rhys Hines, who's been absolutely on fire, .435 batting average with 4 home runs. And then I do like Jonathan India, who's had success. But again, if you don't want to go with one of those, Will Benson, only a .206 batting average against righties, but has 10 bombs as well. So those would be the bats that I'd look at. I'm really not looking at Tampa Bay. Overall, Yandy Diaz batting .714 against Lodolo with 1 home run. You've got Taylor Walls, 3 for 6 with 1 home run. Randy Arozarena, 666 batting average with 2 home runs. Those would be the ones I'd look at. Arozarena, his name has been out there for trade rumors as well. So overall, I think I like Lodolo just a little bit more than I do like the Rays bats here. Then we move on to the main start. We've got the Padres at the Orioles. We just saw Dylan Cease throw a no-hitter for the Padres today, or on Thursday, and now they don't know exactly who is the pitcher. Mazur got sent down before the All-Star break. He had a 7.84 ERA. He is the projected. Oh, so they did just update this. Literally just updated this 6 minutes ago. He will be recalled to start Friday's game. Mazur was sent down prior to the All-Star break. Stretch saw 9.36 ERA in that stretch, 7.84. It's not done well. It's going up against Baltimore, who's a great hitting team. I don't want anything to do with him. Grayson Rodriguez, I will take Grayson Rodriguez against San Diego. He's had a stinker game here against the Yankees, but outside of that game, he's done really well. I would look at Grayson Rodriguez. I would look at Baltimore bats. I'm not looking at San Diego bats at all. So Baltimore bats. Anthony Santander, absolutely on fire. He's hitting the ball, the hell out of the ball. Home run yesterday. I would look at him. Gunnar Henderson's another one I would look at. I would look at, just to look a couple of these. Did I miss it? Where is it? Must be blind. They don't have it listed yet for whatever reason. But again, it is a Baltimore stack for me. It is Grayson Rodriguez. I do not trust I don't trust Mazur getting called up. He's had it before he got called down. Huge, wildly bad stretch. And then that is all we really see. And I just want to say that I like to tell you guys when I'm right and when I'm wrong. But yesterday, I absolutely loved Tampa Bay as a stack. Dominated. Absolutely dominated. So let me know, did you guys win yesterday using our advice? Did you have Tampa Bay as a stack? Would absolutely love to know that. But we've got the Orioles coming in. They did just win the game off of a extra inning hit, but their bullpen's kind of shaky. That is definitely something. So I am looking at Grayson Rodriguez. I am looking at Baltimore bats. I don't want San Diego, and I don't want Mazur here at all, really. Then we got the Rangers at the Blue Jays. Andrew Heaney versus Yusei Kikuchi. I don't like this. I don't trust this. Yusei Kikuchi has been hit hard. He has not faced Texas this year, but he has not done well in his past couple of starts. He had a good game against San Francisco, which was a pitcher's park. But we look at his splits, his home games, 443, still up there. I would definitely be looking at Texas bats. Andrew Heaney's one that I can't get a read on this guy. I never know what Andrew Heaney we're going to get. He's got a 3.60 ERA. He's not faced Toronto this year. Had a couple of good games, then he's had a bad game. It's just, I don't know what we're going to get out of him. But if we were to look at the bats in this one, I'm leaning more towards Texas bats over against Kikuchi. But I would definitely be looking at Nate Lowe batting .296 with 2 bombs against lefties. Obviously, Corey Seager. Love Corey Seager. 248 batting average, 4 home runs against lefties. So he is better against righties, but he's still a fantastic hitter. Overall, Seager's batting .269. We've got Marcus Semien against lefties, 304. You got Josh Smith, 329. Robbie Grossman, 284, 3 bombs. Wyatt Langford. This just feels like one of those where it's a Kikuchi blow-up game, and we need to have different Texas stacks. So what I'm saying is 5-man or 5-player stack on DraftKings or 4 on Fanduel. A couple of different stacks for them. So whether or not you want to go like a Jonah Heim, Nate Lowe, Corey Seager, Marcus Semien, Adolis Garcia, that's one stack. Then you find another one where you get Wyatt Langford, Corey Seager, Robbie Grossman, Nate Lowe, Adolis Garcia, just something, Semien, something like that. I really like a Texas stack today. Just depending, you got to get exposure to both sides. I don't like either pitcher. You could throw, I guess you could throw Andrew Heaney in there just because overall they don't hit lefties very well this year. Tournament-wise, like the ones that do jump out against lefties, Ernie Clement, Danny Jansen, Vlad, Justin Turner. That's it. Spencer Horwitz, that's it. I kind of like Andrew Heaney for tournaments. I do not like him for cash whatsoever. Then we go to the next game. You got the Braves at the Mets. This is a pitcher's park. It's Charlie Morton against Kodai Senga, who's making his debut for the season, who is on a pitch count. That scares me. Overall, Senga 23 plate appearance, 200. And then obviously Charlie Morton has seen a ton of the Mets there. So you got Charlie Morton, 8,600 splits. He's already faced him twice this year. 11 strikeouts, 18.1 fantasy points. So he's above his average per year at 15.7. And the 2.5 times value is what we're looking for here. Has 1 win. Game logs pitched in, 7 innings, 7 Ks in this ballpark earlier. If the weather holds up, I do not mind Charlie Morton here. And then Senga, I don't trust him because, again, he's making his debut. He's going to be on some sort of pitch count. That scares me. At the moment, really, none of the bats jump out. I did forget to mention, at the end, we're going to do the pitches be crazy, and then after all the simulations, we're going to give you the top bats after out of a 10 out of 10 matchup rating. So maybe some of those jump out to me. But like Atlanta against righties, Austin Riley, I would use. Jared Kelenic, I would use. Marcell Ozuna, I would use. Darno, I would use. Matt Olson's really struggling this year. Orlando Arcia could be another one. I do not trust Kodai Senga, but if we are looking at Mets bats against Charlie Morton, Francisco Alvarez, 288 batting average with 2 home runs. Harrison Bader, 294 batting average with 6 bombs. They just took the series against the Yankees. They swept the season series against them, riding on high. Jose Iglesias, if he's in there, 339 batting average, 3 home runs. Like, I could see a sneaky stack. Mark Vientos could be another Mets stack in this one. Charlie Morton would be the pitcher I would go with if I'm going with him. Again, we have a ton of pitchers to go choose from in the slate. So tournaments, I'm okay with. I don't trust Senga at all. His pitch count could get up there early, and then they pull him. So I would give the slight advantage to Charlie Morton and the Braves bats. Then we got the Yankees at the Red Sox. Nestor Cortez versus Bayo. Now, Cortez on the road, if you've been with us before, you've seen it. He has had success against them. 6 innings, 8 strikeouts against them. And Boston strikes out the second most out of any team. So those numbers look great. But then you see splits. Home games, 248. It was under 2 before, I believe, his last start. Yeah, before his last start against Tampa Bay. Time before, but his on the road, 604. For whatever reason, he has been bad on the road. This is on the road in Boston. That's what scares me. I think I'm probably off of Cortez for DFS purposes. I would be on Cortez for pitches, be crazy for, like 6+ strikeouts, 5 or 6+ strikeouts, whatever the prop line is, 4 strikeouts there. But Bayo, kind of on the other hand, his ERA is up there. Does have a lot. He's got 10 wins, but he's got a 5.27 ERA. He's already faced the Yankees once this year, gave up 4 earned runs, 7.71 ERA. Took the loss in that game. That was in New York, right? No, that was at home. That was at home. That back on June 14th. That was at home. His ERA is up there. It just depends what Yankees offense. If the Yankees score early, they usually win the game. But if they're playing from behind, they don't do anything until like the 8th or 9th inning. They're just on a struggle right now. Against Bayo, Verdugo's got a home run. He did have a big game back at Boston to start, but he has struggled this season so far. But if you are looking at bats, obviously Judge and Soto are the top 2. Verdugo back here if you want to use that energy, I guess. You could look at Verdugo. Volpe's kind of come back around. I would probably, and Torres as well. I'm probably just completely fading J.D. Davis, DJ LeMahieu, Jahmai Jones, Trent Grisham. So it really depends on the lineup that comes out. It's just kind of crazy how the Yankees are so many games above 500, but they are so bad. They've had a terrible stretch June and July so far. It's been nuts. But I'm not using either pitcher in this game. I'd rather look at the offenses. Boston bats, Connor Wong against a lefty at home. I want him. Devers, I would take him. Lefty on righty matchup. I don't care. You got Dom Smith batting 278 against lefties. You've got Tyler O'Neill, who normally hits lefties well, 9 home runs. Rob Refsnyder against his former team. I don't mind that either. And you've already seen they've had success. Rami Gonzalez he's very cheap. He's got a home run against Nestor already, batting 2 for 2. Rafi Devers has 2 home runs as well. Don't sleep on Jarren Duran either. So I think this could be a high-scoring game. I don't want either pitcher. I don't trust either pitcher. They could have good games. I'm out on both of the pitchers. Cubs at the Royals, Kyle Hendricks versus Brady Singer. Kyle Hendricks has been one of those where, what are we doing? Why is he still here? Had a good game against St. Louis, and then bad. Okay, good, bad. Like, I don't know what we're doing. He's 5,800 for a reason. I'm stacking the Royals. I don't trust him. He could have a good game. I don't think he does. This is a pitcher's park, but I do not trust him whatsoever. And then you got Brady Singer, who's not faced the Cubs this year, coming off a fantastic game against the White Sox. A bad game here. I would take Brady Singer, and I would look at Kansas City bats over everything else. I do not trust... I'm not using Kyle. I don't want Hendricks whatsoever. There's nothing I want about him. It'd be the Royals bats in this one. I'm looking at Sal Perez. I'm looking at Vinny Pasquantino. I'm looking at Bobby Witt Jr. Depending on where we're at, Kyle Isbell could be a cheap option. Hunter Renfroe could be a cheap option. Michael Garcia could be a cheap option as well. I am looking at some sort of Kansas City stack. Maybe we look at, like we do with Texas, we look at a couple of different stacks, different 5-man stacks for Kansas City. Don't mind that at all. I don't want the Cubs. I do not want Kyle Hendricks. Brady Singer for tournaments, especially in this game, I do not mind. And then Kansas City is one of my top stacks of the day. Then you got the Dodgers at the Astros. You've got Gavin Stone versus Framber Valdez. So Gavin Stone here, 7,800, 2.83 ERA. So good ERA. Has not faced Houston this year. Really hasn't done much the last 3 games. Really hasn't had a good game since June 26th. So a full month. Be his 4th start. Really hasn't done anything. Houston can hit. I'm probably off of Gavin Stone. I'm probably looking at the bats. And then you've got Framber Valdez. Okay. 8,200, 3.89 ERA. Has not faced the Dodgers this year. A good game against Miami, but not really against Seattle for his price. Toronto, not good. New York Mets, not good. Good against Baltimore, not good against the White Sox, not good against the Giants. So inconsistent, I don't know if I want to pay 8,200. But the way the Dodgers have been hitting, you never know. Dodgers against left-handed, I would definitely look at Will Smith. I would look at Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman. And then you got to find some value. Teoscar Hernandez, usually when there's a lefty on the mound, we want to take Teoscar Hernandez. Batting 287, 9 bombs. He does so much better against them. Also has a 937 OPS. Those are the numbers we want to look at. So the OPS we want to look at, usually about 850 plus. Minimum would be 750. I love a Dodger stack here. I do not trust. I don't trust either of these pitchers. And then Yainer Diaz, 289 batting average. I would look at Yainer Diaz. I would look at Jose Altuve. I would look at Bregman. I would look at Yordan Alvarez. If you want to get cheaper, Jonathan Singleton, or maybe possibly Joey Loperfido if he is in there in left field. Those would be the bats. I do not trust the pitching. I'm fading pitching in this one, going strictly with the bats. Then you got the Mariners at the White Sox. George Kirby versus Drew Thorpe. I'm taking George Kirby for DFS. Drew Thorpe for tournaments because the Mariners strike out the most out of any team. This is true. But Drew Thorpe comes in. The strikeouts are, they're very inconsistent, but Seattle does strike out a ton. So I do not mind them. He's already faced them once this year. The problem was he only had 4 strikeouts. So at 6,600, maybe you throw in a tournament pick here for him, but I'd rather have George Kirby. The bats that jump out for the Mariners. So I'm not looking at the White Sox bats. The bats I would be looking at would be the Mariners here. Cal Raleigh, big dumper. Wouldn't be surprised if he goes yard. Luke Raley's another one. But we are missing J.P. Crawford. We are missing Julio Rodriguez. So you could look at a Victor Robles. You could look at a Mitch Haniger. Josh Rojas. Locklear would be a very cheap option if you want. Honestly, I don't love a Seattle stack. Some of the bats we talked about, yes. But I do like Kirby. And then Drew Thorpe for tournaments only because he is so cheap. But I do not want any of the White Sox bats. Then we got the Marlins at the Brewers. You got Trevor Rogers versus Freddie Peralta. Give me Freddie Peralta and give me the Brewers bats. Now, Trevor Rogers has really fallen off a cliff. 459. He's already faced him once this year. 4 walks in that game. 4 strikeouts. 4 earned runs. The number was 4. That's kind of what I'm looking at here. Love Milwaukee when they're going up against a lefty pitcher. Love that for us. So I'm strictly looking at Milwaukee bats. I'm looking at Freddie Peralta and then Milwaukee bats here. I want nothing to do with Trevor Rogers, but the bats that I would look at, William Contreras batting 330 against lefties. You got Eric Haase batting 556. I don't know if he'll be in there, but he would be a cheap option. You got Jake Bauers batting 280. You've got Rhys Hoskins. It's surprising. I usually love to take Rhys Hoskins against lefties, but only batting 203. He is better against righties this year. Willie Adames is another one I would look at. Jackson Chourio, Bryce Terang as well. So I absolutely love a Milwaukee stack today against Trevor Rogers. I want nothing to do with Rogers. I want nothing to do with the Miami Marlins bats. Next game, Nationals at the Cardinals. Nationals just got no hit against Dylan Cease yesterday. Now they go into St. Louis going up against Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray, overall, 39 plate appearances. He has not had success against them. He is up there in price, 9,300. He's already faced them once this year, 5 innings. He only lasted 5 innings. 1 home run, 5 earned runs, and 6 strikeouts. He did not have his stuff against them, and it was in Washington. Now, this is at home, so if we look at that home games, he does have a better ERA at home. I think people might see this and shy away from them. I like Sonny Gray today, especially since he is under 10,000. Then you got Mackenzie Gore. Okay. Always curious about Mackenzie Gore. 4.47 ERA, so his ERA is up there. Splits-wise, 1 game started this year, 5 earned runs against them, 5 strikeouts, 5 walks, 13.5 ERA, 0.9 fantasy points. I can't use him. In this game, I'd rather use Sonny Gray, and I'd rather use the Cardinals bats against Mackenzie Gore. Looking at those Cardinals bats against Gore, Wilson Contreras is definitely one I'd look at. Dylan Carlson has 2 home runs against him. I would look at him. Paul Goldschmidt, 287 batting average against lefties. I'm looking at him. Then, so basically the bats I like here, Wilson Contreras, Paul Goldschmidt, Dylan Carlson. That, you could look at Nolan Arenado, but I just don't feel like we need a St. Louis stack today. But if you want, I could definitely see you building around maybe a Nolan Gorman or a Mason Wynn to shore up that 5-man stack for the Cardinals today. Then we get to Oakland at the Angels. To be announced versus Carson Fulmer. Oakland, let's see if they think it's going to be anybody. They think it's going to be Mitch Spence, who last pitched a week ago or 6 days ago. So last Saturday, did not do well. Probably not. Let's see if he's faced them 3 times this year. 2-1 record, 9 earned runs, 14 Ks total. Spence just faced them his last start, 5.1 innings, 3 strikeouts. Then you can see here, 5.1 innings. So he's going about 5.1 innings there. 1 bad start and 2 decent starts. Mitch Spence for tournament, I don't mind, especially at 6,400. But having faced them his last start, that's always what scares me because they just saw what he could do. They know his stuff a little bit better. This will be the 4th time he's faced them. That's where you would be like, oh, they on paper, they should know how to take him down because they've seen him so much. So if we want to go in that direction, Mitch Spence for tournaments, I'm okay with. But if we want to go these bats here against Spence, Logan O'Hoppe, Willie Calhoun, you could look at Nolan Schanuel a little bit, Mickey Moniak, I'm okay with. Luis Guillorme, possibly. I don't know if he'll be in there. Zach Neto does have 11 bombs, though. So if you want to get creative, an Angel stack, I'm okay with that one. Then Oakland against Carson Fulmer. So we look at Carson Fulmer here. He's down at the bottom. Where did I see him? Maybe not. No, right here. 7,400 game logs. The problem is he's not going deep into games. He's had a good game against Seattle, but they strike out a ton. Splits-wise, he's faced Oakland twice this year, 3 earned runs. But in those games against Oakland, his last start, 4.2 innings, got up to 77 pitches. And then Oakland here, 2 innings, 28 pitches. I don't trust him enough. I'm not saying I love Oakland bats, because I really don't. But if you are looking at them, Shea Langeliers, Kyle McCann, Zach Geloff, Max Schumann, Brent Rooker, Lawrence Butler, I don't mind those. I think those are all ones that, if you're trying to build a lineup there, I don't mind them. Then you got the Pirates at the Diamondbacks, Luis Ortiz versus to be announced. So let's see if Arizona has announced, or they think it's going to be Zach Gallen. He last pitched on the 21st, or the 20th, so this would be his start. Going up against Pittsburgh, he has not faced them this year. I would look at Zach Gallen. And then Luis Ortiz, we got him down here at 7,300. We've used him a couple of times. Again, the last 2 games we've used him. 7 innings there, 20.8. He's 7,300. I don't mind him. I think both of these pitchers are okay. I'm probably fading the bats in this one. As of now, maybe once we run the simulations in a couple of minutes, maybe we'll have changed by then. So I will use the pitchers. I will not be using the bats as of now, anyway. And the keyword of the day right now is nap, because I had one today, and that's why I'm feeling a little bit energized. So nap, good for the soul. Then we got the Rockies at the Giants as the final game. We've got Kyle Freeland versus to be announced. Kyle Freeland's one that he's all the way at the bottom, 5,500, 5.63 ERA. He's already faced San Francisco once this year, actually got the W in that one, and only 2 earned runs. And that was his last start. This is the problem. That was at home, too, which is wild to me. That was Kyle Freeland. They just faced him, and now this is a pitcher's park. You could throw him in tournaments. But overall, Kyle Freeland, San Francisco bats against him. Tyler Estrada has 2 home runs. Tyler Fitzgerald, who's been on fire, has a home run. Mike Yastrzemski has a home run, batting .471 against him. Jorge Soler would be one that I would take against him as well. I don't trust Kyle Freeland enough. Tournaments I'm okay with because his price is $5,500, but I'd rather have a San Francisco stack there. And then they think it's going to be Kyle Harrison, right? Let's see. They think it's going to be Kyle Harrison. Splits-wise, faced Colorado 3 times this year. 17 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 12 strikeouts. Just faced them. His last start didn't do too bad, especially at that price. I would take Kyle Harrison in this situation. And there you have it. That is the Friday breakdown. All of the pitchers, all of the bats that are available. It is now time, right now, for Pitches Be Crazy. Now, these are not the only pitchers to go, but these are the top 5 pitchers because the teams they are facing strike out the most. And we are going to talk about that real quick. So, number 1, Drew Thorpe. Again, don't really like him for DFS as much, but Pitches Be Crazy versus Seattle. Seattle strikes out 10.25 times per game. And on the road, 10.16. So those are good numbers there. Number 2, Nestor Cortez at Boston. I don't like this. So he's already had 8 strikeouts against them once this year. But on the road, he's been terrible. So that is the caveat there. Boston strikes out 9.64 times per game. When they're at home, they're striking out 9.39 times per game. Number 3 is Kyle Harrison versus Colorado. He just faced them his last start, like I said. In that game, he had 6 strikeouts there. Colorado strikes out 9.55 times per game. On the road, they strike out 10.12. So now they're on the road. He is at home in a pitcher's park. Those numbers jump up there. Number 4 is Carson Fulmer. Again, he doesn't go deep into games. He's faced this team a lot, so they kind of know what he's got. But going up against Oakland, Oakland strikes out 9.5 times per game. And on the road, they strike out 10.35 times per game. So they strike out more on the road, which checks the box here. And then number 5 is Shane Baz versus Cincinnati. Cincinnati has flip-flopped. They are tied, actually, with Pittsburgh. So both are at 9.04. Cincinnati strikes out 9.04. And on the road, Cincy strikes out 9.35. And since it is tied, Pittsburgh, we could look at Pittsburgh. What did we see? Who was pitching? Zach Gallen against Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh 9.04 times per game. And on the road, Pittsburgh strikes out 9.82 times per game. So on the road, they strike out more. And then if you want to get even more, you want to go another one, Tampa Bay, right behind them, 9.00 times per game. At home, they strike out 8.61. In Tampa Bay, who did they have? Nick Lodolo, right? And it's Nick Lodolo who has double-digit strikeouts a few times this year. So those would be the top bats that I would look at for Pitches Be Crazy according to their matchups there. Now, again, things can happen. Weather can change. Simulations could show a little bit different. So definitely check out Fantasy Team Advisors in that situation. And then we do have all of the batters that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating. Normally, we've had as little as 3. We've had as many as 31. The initial simulations are out. We have 4 batters that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating. 2 Yankees and 2 Cubs. Pause the video and guess the 2 Cubs and 2 Yankees. The Yankees should be easy. It's the only 2 hitters that are actually hitting on the team. Number 1, Aaron Judge versus Bayo. Number 2, Juan Soto versus Bayo. Then the 2 Cubs bats here. Ian Happ versus Brady Singer, and Seiya Suzuki versus Brady Singer as well. So those are the 10 out of 10 matchup ratings as of the initial simulations. Those can and will update very soon. So definitely check those out. That's what I've got in this video. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, get those down below. Email me. Hit me up on Twitter/X @advisors_team. Hit us in the Discord down below as well. You can DM me there, or you can check out all of the content we've got there as well. So that's what I've got. Good luck. If you're still here, check out everything else we have to offer. Good luck today and this weekend if we don't see you. And as always, Let's bring home some bacon. Peace.